and it does not have the already. Maybe later. Then it will be fine. Good. Just.
What if we don't start?
Just keep like this. You will be here, no? Someone?
I'll be here for the camera. Can someone make sure that the laptop is fine? Like all settings are cool.
Everything is good.
Alright, yeah, cool. I'll just have to follow with the camera, that's all.
Yes.
Because see that? Have you sent it? Or have you sent it? Okay. Code? Yeah. Is there a socket around there? If
It's there.
it can extend a little but not much.
This is camera charger.
Cool.
And battery. I think it's
Yeah.
this is the
It's a 60p to 50p.
Alright. It's a March thing, so hopefully that's.
Test.
you do take it.
Yeah, I just want to just have to.
No, just keep
Yeah, okay, cool. You can just leave it here. You can not take it, it's fine.
So we just look at that. This shows
sunset.
I don't think there.
So all set, all the best. I'll go.
Oh, niche. Okay, fine.
Fine?
Yeah, I'll go.
good luck.
Thank you.
Sir.
All good. Couples handbook, black factor numbers, soil hunting, everybody. That was definitely a can be anything. Okay, I can go and sit if you want. So we're not sure that one. I think it's we have to take it over the projector.
Nice.
The live is all set. So.
Is it live already?
Yeah, it is. It let it be. It's not a problem. We can. It starts at an official this thing.
Please check out. That's all. You found that person. Check for me. Yeah, it's kind of coming down, no? Mellow down. It was on top, but only the
Do you know where the battery is in this thing? It is so different from mine.
But just a minute. Battery goes in there.
No, that's alright. No, I'll just check how much charge is there. Never mind, I got it.
Okay,
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah, what?
Can you find a person
A person for what?
with good camera? Mobile camera.
Some wire connection might be loose. That's the reason why it's getting message there.
But no, she can't. You don't know? Okay, fine.
You just speak up.
No, just go with your instincts on photography. Like anywhere you think is important, to go with that. Plus,
Now why by this is
no, it's not a fix. It's not.
ಮುಂಚೆಗೆ ಈ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಲಿಟಲ್ ಬಿಟ್ ರೆಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲ
It's reduced compared to the previous one. It's reduced.
It was flickering a lot before. Yeah, it's could be. We're not sure. Like because at the end it is, but mostly it's much lesser than how it was before.
Yeah, that's
Compared to the before, it's less better.
Yeah, I think it's stopped now.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah. I think it's good.
oh good
See, ನಾನು ಎಲ್ಲ wife use
Wife again it's
Yeah, do it. The slides, show the slides. Yeah. Instead. Reality is not that this place is dead. Yeah. Call him out here. He left his phone here. Abhijit left his phone here right now.
Call Pranav. Pranav is
Yeah.
Call Pranav.
He was here itself. I just saw him here, teacher.
So I'm going to show you how to bird like a pro.
Pranav is not picking up. Can someone go down and bring him?
Sir, కొంచెం increase பண்ணோம்.
Okay. You are getting the volume wala option, saving the video wala option. So once you are done, you don't edit. Call me. I will edit and then I'll see. Just not hold it. It takes time. When we start, the time we can go live. Now just hold it.
How do you go live and install?
I will tell her. You just go live.
You are nice.
Touch it.
Pranav is not picking
You are holding. You will be here.
Hello everybody, that's a loud voice. Okay, sounds good? Here at the back? Yeah.
Varsha.
1006.
It's fine, it's 1 hour talk, real. That's what I'm hoping for my laptop as well. Also, the camera is fine, but laptop.
You want focus?
I should have brought my tripod. This is fine, I have to hold on to it.
Light.
I don't know why I'm not able to focus. Why am I not able to focus? Can you check once? I will hold it.
There are things I have to do. Yeah.
Can you try focusing? Why am I not able to focus?
What mode are you in? Auto? Maybe it could be because of the low light. But what are you doing? I got scared, sorry. Dylan, just stay there. It's fine, it's fine, it's fine. Keep doing what you're doing. Wait, I'll just sorry, but it's not. Is it because of the... Where is well? How do you go back to the... Oh, maybe if you wanna... No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the other side. 1 second. Skip, change, spots, closure, I put it... I know it is good, but I need to figure out I can't do all that now. Bring ask Crash 1 sec. You go live. Shoot. You take my Did you put a filter or something? Should it work if you take out the filter? Is there a filter? Certain, so I'm not going to do anything with it. It's fine, it's fine, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Ask Crash 1 second.
Please no.
It's usually in auto focus and auto focus is fine. It's alright, but like it's not focusing right now. Maybe go back. Go back in time. What's happening?
These are for audience.
Alright.
Okay.
Alright.
I'm just keeping it here. If someone comes and asks.
Get someone on these.
Yes, yes. People will come if they want.
This is for the video. So click.
My camera is actually it's not wide.
And the college camera. Let's see what works.
Actually, it had battery issues. Already only have GPS time, but battery issues. Charging.
नहीं चार्जर तो दे चार्ज कर दिया ना डिवाइस
ठीक है. We have the camera. Also, this one is getting his camera's thing going. There is going to be better lighting, no? Go ask Ari from exam.
Can he control from there if it is projected from there?
Do they not have the... I
don't think there should be.
Is it happening? All good? Yeah. Started or something. Yeah. What happened though?
I just tried restarting it.
Yeah, that's all right.
Yeah, just like change the input. It's fine. Yeah, I started it.
It's good, it's fine.
I think it was just input issue. It's fine. Guys, one of you, is there any?
I'm doing this.
That's what, just get anyone.
Anyone would not do it.
That's what.
Then just have to go on live and keep checking.
And please just
footages.
just the lighting once it starts, see if it's better. Yeah.
Okay, that you know to set. So that I go?
Open this.
And yeah, the next thing is just keep it somewhere else because first of all this is blocking the screen.
That's there.
This is blocking this.
Do you think you should move the whole thing in the side? Like essay in this way? Wouldn't that be better? One side should do.
Yeah, this is fine, I guess. Yeah, move it a bit more. Okay, let's.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, when there's a loose contact. What about this?
Just yank.
Glitch, eh? In that? You need to lift. You good enough. Because it will be weird. Wait, I'll do it. Dude, move this a bit more.
Okay.
Pari.
Take a table, put it up there.
No, wait.
It's fine. We'll open the tripod more. Things it can do. I think.
The other
Oh my god, I should have just gotten my tripod. This is too complicated.
Okay, fine.
Okay.
That's what it was.
Fine.
No, that's not actually what it was.
It's actually gonna.
Extend it more?
No, like.
No, this much. That's fine. Yeah, that's enough.
Is that fine?
Yeah, it is.
Check.
It's.
No, this is fine.
Unstable
Like, while you
actually.
do
It's not
it,
about
just
the unstableness, it's about the...
Angle.
Yeah.
It's fine. We'll
Looking
mostly
up, it
be.
looks
We'll mostly be closing into the focusing into
We'll
the things and usually on the screen itself. It's not actually a lot
So like this.
wide.
Exactly. So
Focus.
we take a sample
Manual?
thing and we'll pull up over there.
Why put it in that?
You don't have the desk? Lens? Who's gonna set over there? Dignitaries?
Varsha, just see one
So I
thing.
don't know how to stand.
Varsha.
You'll have to push it up right next to the eye.
Sure, it's fine.
Put it on the eye.
it's become so wide.
The thing with it is, this also has a
Cord is
bad
very less.
It's glitching every time.
Loose contact ആണ് നീക്കുക. നല്ല പെടണ്ട്. 2% glitch.
ഇതെന്തിനാ ഇങ്ങനെ വന്നേ?
See, while moving it's
quality I want.
very unstable.
This place is unstable. It has
We can't do anything.
Nothing we can do.
We can't
That's
do
just how it is.
It's that.
That
I
is
just
how
what are you gonna do about it?
We are
We
not
have to
just
just
do
hold on
this.
to it. That's all. I'll just have to hold on to it. That's
She will do it.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, just because see,
Outside?
now that
As
we are
long as the
blending
glitch doesn't happen, that's also
No.
something
Okay.
on that.
Second thing, what is going to happen is the charge is going to go for sure.
Okay, we have a cable down. We have a this thing.
guys, this is
Can you just keep it? It's
it's
fine.
already
if it's not,
30% down.
it's not a
Just
problem if you just keep the charge, no?
keep it on charge.
If the charge goes, everything is going to
See, it's already 30% down.
That's
Yeah,
why
we'll just keep it. We'll keep it. Charger.
Yeah, get the charger.
The charger was here in his bag. Where's your bag? Where did you? Ah, that one. This one.
It's not in auto focus, it's in manual. We'll have to manually focus it.
Okay, cool.
Someone just put this there. Plug it in. Wait.
Almost.
ബാക്കിയൊന്നും
Where's Adina?
ലെഫ്റ്റ്
Okay, never mind.
How about we move these back?
Thank you.
See, this Varsha.
Arjuna, you're okay?
And all you need is one app. And so I'm going to show you.
Okay.
Oh wow, the lighting has a lot. This thing, to get that to
Just
this
control
thing.
it, that's
Yeah,
it.
yeah. I think that'll be
ISO is at 2000, just increase the ISO. 2000 is so this thing, right? Yeah, this is fine. Just work with this thing.
Yeah.
Shut up. Okay, I'll go.
Yeah, go. If only this thing was more stable, I swear. That's mine. Yeah. Your bag. Your bag was here. Where did you keep the rest of the bags here? Aditya, where did you keep the rest of the bags here? There were a bunch of bags here. Where did you keep it?
We kept it there. There were only 2 bags. I took just 2 bags. Pranav took the rest of it. I don't know.
Okay, fine. It will be here only. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yes, don't worry.
Move around, but it should be from here to there.
Here till there, is it? Hold what in portrait? I'm sorry, what? What are you talking about? One second. Why is it lagging a little? Hello. Look at this. because the dignitaries are there, no? Plus this thing is covering it, and you look up from the screen, it's covering. The fact that it's wonky is because of this. This is unstable. It's supposed to be fixed.
It's way too unstable. See. When moving, it's gonna shake a lot.
Exactly.
We need to do something.
But we can't. Literally, we can't. What do we do under this thing? The only thing I can do is hold on to this thing. That's all, at most.
And
Does that help? Does that really help?
It's helping a little. See, it's at least a little smoother.
This one is
Just in 5 minutes. Thanks for waiting. I request the attendees
That's
to
the best I can
operate
do.
and close.
Better than that. Should have got it my tripod. What did I do?
What if like hold it like this? I guess it's more stable.
Yeah, better. Staying here. I'll anyways have to follow with the camera because you can't just keep it in one place.
I'll tell you in case the live stream is not interrupted or something.
Okay, go. Wait, I'm not sure about this camera, but why is it not focusing? Why is this not focusing properly? Any idea?
It's manual.
It's a manual. Yeah.
So you'll have to move this thing. Wait, I'll show you.
Oh, right, sorry. Cool. Do you know why it's
Yeah. That's what if you're swimming in swimming when moving, you'll have to
Yeah, I'll take care of everything. Works.
just try a few times.
Yeah. Just don't want to do that alone.
Okay, that's nice.
Yeah, of course, it's a lot more now.
Just check how much you have to zoom out. Like,
For the screen?
yeah.
I think this one should do. Yeah, that should do, no? Don't take very much more. So, yeah. I don't know what else it is. Yeah, focuses, yeah. Chalo.
evening to all present here. I am Anina. We are the presidents of National Science Association, Department of Zoology, St. Joseph's University. We welcome you all to the public lecture titled Bending the Curve, Big Data, Citizen Science and Conservation, which will be delivered by Professor Ian Owens, Executive Director of Cornell Lab of Ornithology. I would like to share a quote written by Victor Hugo, which goes like this. Be as a bird perched on a tree branch that she feels bending beneath her. Still, she sings away all the same, knowing she has wings. I'm sure you would all agree that birds are some of the most elegant and inspiring creatures on the earth. They are symbols of beauty, joy, courage, intelligence, and freedom with their incredible ability to fly. Today is an occasion that could ignite your passion for birds and nature while fostering a deep appreciation for conservation efforts. I would like to extend my warm welcome to the members of eBird and the National Center for Biological Sciences for conducting this event along with the Department of Zoology, St. Joseph's University. We would also like to extend our gratitude in making us a part of this wonderful session.
As you know, eBird has had a long tradition of integrating science and citizens. Events such as campus bird count, young bird event, and great backyard bird count provide a wonderful forum for both the general public and aspiring ornithologists to participate and contribute to scientific research. Today, we have a great opportunity to welcome Professor Ian Owens, the Executive Director of the Cornell Lab of Ornithology at Cornell University, who will be speaking about big data, citizen science and conservation. We are delighted to welcome you, sir. I would like to express our gratitude by presenting a small token of appreciation. I invite our registrar, Dr. Merlin to present the memorandum. Thank you, sir. I now humbly welcome National Center for Biological Sciences, Bird Count India. Moreover, will thank Dr. Sunil Kadar and Praveen J. For constantly coordinating with SJU in order to make this event a success. I welcome respected professors and students of St. Joseph University. Last but not the least, I welcome all the eager members of the audience for their active participation. Hope you all enjoy the session.
I now invite Dr. Subir Kadir to introduce our speaker.
Thank you so much, and thank you to the National Science Association and the Zoology, and of course St. Joseph's University for hosting us over here. My name is Suhail. I am speaking to you on behalf of Cornell India as well as the Nature Conservation Foundation and the National Center for Biological Sciences. And together with everybody else, welcome you to this occasion. The speaker today, Professor Ian Owens, spent 20 years of his first of his career in academia in the UK and Australia. He's an evolutionary ecologist, ecologist. And then he decided they wanted to switch and do things that are more public facing to do conservation. So he worked at a couple of natural history museums in England, and now for the past 2.5 years as the director of the Cornell Lab of Ornithology. I should say something about the Cornell Lab, which is a part of the division of the Cornell University, It is a very interesting thing. It's a mixture of academic department, technology organization, and conservation organization. And because of this unique mixture, the lab has been amazing things. It's about 100 years old, and in the last 20 years, we've increasingly looking outward, more globally, working with lots of partners all across the world to bring the message of birds and through birds, nature, and conservation to all larger audiences in North America but all across the world. And today, we will be telling us something about this journey and about how the work they do and the work we can all do together is so inspiring forward for nature and for conservation. Thank you.
Thank you, Sahal. Thank you to Bergkamp India, to NCDS, who will be hosting us this week, as we've met many partners in Bangalore, and to stakeholders this evening. It's really, we have felt an incredibly warm welcome since coming to India about 10 days ago. We've seen a lot of birds, we've been doing a lot, we've met some wonderful people, some of which we have worked with for over a decade. And old friends, if you like, that we meet for the first time. But I think we've made many new friends as well. So thank you to everybody who's welcomed us so hard. It's really uplifted us to be here. Should we have the first slide? Great, thank you. Should we start with the next slide as well? I'd like to talk to you this evening, firstly about what I see as one of the big challenges in biodiversity and conservation science, but also one of the big opportunities that we have right now. The big challenge that I see is having is to start to plot what we often refer to as bending the curve. I see that quite a lot of the work that the Lab of Ornithology and other organizations around the world have done over the last few decades has been framing this issue of the collapse of biodiversity around the world. And that's what I'm really meaning on the slide that has kind of the curve on it. That decelerating part of the curve. As you can see, biodiversity collapsing over the last few decades. The thing that I think is the big challenge in the future is not just to plot the decline of that curve in even more detail, but also to try to figure out what is it going to take to bend that curve. Or have a way for the curve to appear. Possible to put the next slide there? There. So the red part of that curve, I think, is the part that we put a great deal of effort into over the last few decades. What I'm interested in now is figuring out, over the next decade or so, how can we bend that curve? So biodiversity starts to increase again. Doesn't just stabilize, but also increases. I don't think we have a lot of time to do that. If we let that curve go down for another couple of decades, it will get really, really difficult to bend that curve. There are various analyses out there of what it takes to bend that curve, and usually it's a mixture of conserving or protecting those areas that we already have that are rich in wildlife, restoring the areas that were previously rich in wildlife, and then transforming how we all live, and particularly how we harvest resources. So bending this curve in this way isn't something that just be done by scientists or academics or something like that. It would take all of society to work together to do that. And of course it's extremely challenging because bending that curve isn't just led by individual profit or even business profit. It requires people to think about more than themselves and more than the financial bottom line. Can we have the next slide, please? There are also great opportunities there to tackle that challenge. And the one that I'm going to spend most of this evening talking about is the combination of these two things. How the advent of new technologies, particularly artificial intelligence-driven technologies, interface with large mass participation citizen science. Those two things that come together give us a unique opportunity to map where biodiversity is in the world and figure out which management techniques work well and which don't work well. So they give us probably for the first time potentially information we can actually act on to guide conservation efforts. Let's have a look at one of the best examples of when those two things come together, citizen science and technology. This map here looks a little bit like those maps that are taken from space, where you can see different human settlements around the world. If you look at it a little bit more closely, you can probably figure out that what you can see there aren't just cities around the world. This is in fact human habitation. This is a map of citizen scientists around the world. Each one of those dots is a record of somebody submitting a checklist, a list of birds from somewhere around the world into a central system so that anybody can analyze it. Can we have that next slide, please? That system has already been referred to this morning as eBird. eBird is a platform that allows citizen scientists around the world to upload data, play with that data, analyze it, and make it available to decision makers around the world. It's largely an app-based system now, so people use their phones to record the different birds, send that into a system, say how long they've been looking at those birds on, and when they do that, that's called a checklist, and that's what creates a dot on that list. You can see the scale of this citizen science enterprise. 20 years of observation shown on here, 1.5 million nearly people involved in doing this, and over 1.6 billion records submitted. If you go to the United Nations Central Repository of Information about Biodiversity, called GBIF, Global Biodiversity Information Facility, about half of the information that's on that comes from citizen scientists around the world, which I think is really remarkable that people around the world are now doing this. Can we have that next slide, please? I'm going to show you an animation that illustrates how quickly information comes in through this sort of system, how quickly citizen scientists around the world are uploading information and making use of it. In a moment, we'll play this animation, and you'll see that pale patch in the middle of the global map there start to move to the left. That shows this is going to show one day's worth of citizen science coming in from around the world. You'll see it start off on the right-hand side there, in the west as the sun goes up, and gradually you'll see little yellow dots appear. Each one of those yellow dots is a person out in the field somewhere, or in a city somewhere, saying these are the birds that I've seen, recording it in this system and making it available to other people around the world. But we will be impressed by this is what happens in just one day. Now I should warn you that it isn't an average day, as you can see by the nomenclature there on the left. It's one of the days we try to encourage people to do this. But still, these are typically existing citizen scientists and bird watchers around the world submitting that data. Could you press the forward button, like the animation there? You see the yellow dots appearing there in New Zealand and Australia? And each one of those is somebody submitting one of these lists. In Europe and Africa, the Americas now, and you can gradually go through white dots after they're building the system a little bit. So in just one 24-hour period, over 300,000 checklists submitted to this system. And you can imagine how that magnifies over time and across the different groups. Could we go to the next slide, please? The most important thing to remember about this system is that it's driven by countries and community groups around the world. It really is a bottom-up way of collecting and using biodiversity information. When I talk to people about this system across America and around the world, this is the example I always use. So it's really great to be in India to be able to talk about bird count India in India. Bird count India is one of the biggest schemes around the world. It has mapped diversity across the Indian subcontinent. 43,000 bird watchers involved, over 50 million observations, 2 million checklists, and so on. In total, mapping over 1,300 species. That's an enormous achievement. Nobody has ever managed to map diversity at that sort of scale. And I would say the reason for that is typically we try to do these sorts of things in quite a top-down sort of manner. Well, this is a really bottom-up way of doing it, utilising a combination of engaged citizens and scientists who love birds, care about the environment, and are tech-savvy enough to be able to contribute these sorts of observations to a big system. Bird Count India is actually a group of organisations that bring this together under a common umbrella. Next slide, please. Not only are these observations collected and brought together in that way, collected in that way, they're also analysed to create a report to look at the state of India's birds. This is actually the second state of India's birds, and this goes through each of the species and figures out which ones are declining most, which ones need protection, and so on. It can provide state-by-state information on which birds are most vulnerable and which need protection. Again, I keep emphasizing this fact that this is a bottom-up citizen science approach going to give advice at the national or the state level. An incredible achievement. The reason I use this example so often is this is one of the cases where this is done on a larger geographical scale, where there are really a lot of birds, a lot of biodiversity, and a lot of conservation challenges. Next slide, please. If you now look around the world, there are many groups doing it at the scale of Bird Count India, but this is an illustration of the groups around the world that are now organising to do this sort of thing. Hopefully when you look at this map, you can see both the strengths and the weaknesses of it. You can see that in some areas of the world, very rich sets of citizens and scientists now working together and organisations coming together. You can also clearly see that there are areas of the world where that is not yet the approach. And one of the things that we try to do is encourage groups to participate in these sorts of schemes. Next slide, please. So what's it possible to do with this data? I think a lot of us have by collecting the data. We enjoy bird watching, we enjoy listening things and stuff, but what do people do with this data once it exists? Well, eBird data, Bird Count India data is all open access, it's all freely available on the web. I'm going to give you a few examples of what people have done with it over the years. One of the things that's most common is people try and map out where birds occur. This is an example from one of the barbets that's quite common here in southern India. And you can see that the indigo coloured parts of this show you where this species occurs. You can also probably see, for those of you that are used to looking at field guides and so on, you can see the details on this map. Normally these sorts of field guides are kind of broad blobs where we're thinking might be often based on historical records. This is very, very fine detail. On these maps we get down to about 3 kilometres by 3 kilometres, which is more detailed than has ever been possible before. Again, because there are so many people involved in this sort of project. And people analyse this data in all sorts of ways to figure out where to find a bird, where to take a bird, and so on. Could I have the next slide, please? We can also not just figure out where a bird is now, we can also start to map out where birds move. In the case of birds, often when they're threatened, it's not just because they're threatened in their breeding grounds or something like that, often they are suffering either on a migratory route or on non-breeding grounds. This sort of information also allows you for a bird like a dollar to figure out where it's breeding, where it's migrating to, and so on. If we press the slide again, this will give you an illustration of how this bird moves through the air. from its breeding grounds to its wintering grounds and back again. Again, this is the first time we've been able to, as ornithologists, map this sort of migration at a fine scale, but on a global extent. Go to the next slide. This is an example that will be familiar to a lot of you bird watchers. This is a global map of barn swallows moving between the breeding grounds and the wintering grounds and back again. So this is a bird that goes across the Americas, the African continent, Europe, and Asia. So this is one of the first examples where it's possible for people to map the movement of a bird across its whole range. And that emphasizes to us that if you're trying to detect or understand a bird like barn swallow, just looking at it in one region has limited interest, if you like, limited power, because this bird is moving around the world to such an extent. It's also important to recognize that using this sort of citizen science approach is not a silver bullet for everything. You can imagine that when you've got millions of bird watchers around the world contributing 1.5 billion data points, that data is quite messy. It's not like a classical experiment where you have 3 treatment groups or something like that. What that means is that you have to do, because you're not controlling so much how people enter the data, you have to do a lot of control, a lot of statistical control when you're trying to figure out what that data means. And on the right-hand side of this diagram, I've illustrated that I've noticed a few of the things that we do to be able to try and control that data. So for example, when observations come into this sort of system, all around the world there are reviewers who are looking at whether this looks like a likely record, whether there's something wrong, and so on. So there's an expert review system in each country trying to figure out, does this look sensible? If there's something odd about a record, that reviewer will get in touch with the bird watcher and try to politely say to them, are you sure you saw this bird in this area? And you can imagine the intense conversation, but that's the first way of trying to ensure that it's good data. After that, most of the data is based on complete lists, so we ask people to tell us everything they've seen, not just the most exciting things. That tells us when there are things there, when things aren't there, absences. And then you can see we use statistics to control a whole set of differences between species, between places, and between bird watchers. Control the differences between bird watchers is one of the hardest things. So we ask bird watchers to let us know how long they've been bird watching, who they've been bird watching with, where they've walked and so on. But we also have to figure out how skilled are they at bird watching, where they are right now. So we do a lot of statistical work to try to figure out, to try to make this data as clean, if you like, as possible. We also tend to calibrate this messy citizen science data with real atlases and surveys and things like that, so that we know that what we're getting from these big statistical analyses makes sense in the real world. So there's a lot of work that goes behind these sorts of models. And again, that work is being done by a huge distributed network of scientists. Can I have the next slide, please? Recently, we've also been trying to figure out not just where birds are now and how they move around, we've also been trying to figure out how populations have changed over time. That's pretty tricky. And it's pretty tricky because of that messiness of data. Typically, when you're trying to look at differences in population trend over time, the main thing that you're looking at is how the numbers of birds have gone up and down and so on. In this case, because it's real bird watchers around the world collecting this data, you've always got to be aware that it might not be just the birds that are changing over a 20-year period, it's also the bird watchers that are changing. They've got better binoculars, 27 kilometres by 27 kilometres, so it's a relatively fine scale. Normally you do population trend on a much broader scale than that. If it's a blue dot, it means that the population is doing well, it's increasing. And if it's a red dot, it means the population is declining. The size of the dot, either blue or red, tells you the extent of that change, whether it's a big change or a small change in that direction. And what we see here for the wood thrush is quite typical of what we find when we do this across different species around the world. What we typically find is that for many species, they're not just increasing or decreasing. You get this complicated spatial pattern where in some areas they're increasing and in some areas they're decreasing. So that's complicated biologically, but I think potentially helpful with respect to conservation. Because even some species that were typically declining across their range, when you look at it very broadly, you often find there are some pockets where the population is actually increasing. And what we found people often do is they go to those areas and try and figure out why is this endangered species doing well in these areas where it's actually thriving. So these maps are really way into understanding how bird populations are changing, and probably also to try and figure out what we can do to bend that curve to make them increase again. Let's have a look at another couple of these maps to see how they work. Can I have the next slide, please? This is just a familiar example. I suspect everybody in this audience. This is an Indian bee farm. See the Indian continent there? And you can see that most of the dots there are blue. That means that, as you probably will notice, the Indian bee farm is increasing across lots of India, becoming more common in general, and expanding into some areas where it was not seen so much. Even in the Indian bee farm that is doing so well, you can see some red dots up in the northwest there. So this is the sort of example where people try to understand why those dots are there. You'll also see that not the whole of India is covered in by blue or red dots. Some of it is grey. Typically what that means is there's either no significant change in the population, or it can't be detected with the data that's available now. Sometimes with the data captures you can't do that. So even with bee farms generally doing well, just as stated in India's birds demonstration. Let's have a look at another species. This is the Indian roller, another iconic species for India. When we all come out of the airport, the first Indian roller we see stop at car, jump out and get very excited. Incredibly beautiful, charismatic bird. Again, when you look at that map, I suspect that you're already able to interpret these maps. You see that the Indian roller is, just as they take these vertical things, is declining across quite a lot of its range at quite a large extent. But there are some areas that go towards the northwest, which are different from that, and then it looks like there's some subtle increases in the population there. If you just pop back a slide, just back to the Indian roller. I can't overstate how useful it has been to be able to draw those maps with dots on them. They look pretty simple, don't they? I mean, there's a heck of a lot of bird watching and statistical analysis to get to those maps. But the fact that they look so simple is actually what makes them so powerful. When we show these sorts of maps to decision makers and people who want to be interested in birds and conservation, they really get these maps quickly. The fact that they are just a couple of colours, they can see when populations are going up or down, they can see some spatial differences across there, so they can see where they are. If they're a governor or something like that, they can figure out what's going on in my town versus across the rest of the country or the continent. So we have found these maps really powerful for communicating biodiversity problems to people and also helping them to take action. I'm just going to go through a few examples now where people have taken action of that sort. Have a look at the next slide. The sorts of analyses that we've been talking about, for example, are now used in lots of parts of the world to identify the most important sites for protection. So this, for example, the map on the right there, is an example of where a whole set of groups came together and analysed this type of data and identified 41 priority sites for shorebird conservation. The way they did that was pretty cool. They didn't just use the overall maps that we've been looking at. We have a tool that allows you to draw a little polygon around particular areas. So they drew polygons around different areas and calculated exactly how many shorebirds were present in each bay or in each beach or in each kind of tundra area, and figured out that each week of the year which site is most important. Because for some of these shorebirds, they go through like real migration bottlenecks. But for most of the year, you may not see any sandalwood, for example, in that area. But for 1 week of the year, 40% of the species in a short area of coastline. Using this technique, these groups were able to demonstrate that has to be protected if they want to successfully keep hold of those species. We'll look at the next slide, please. Similarly, groups like Nespresso or Nestle have got lots of coffee farms across the Americas. They're very variable in how many birds they have associated with them. When you go to these coffee farms or spring places, like the ones in India, you'll notice that some of them have hardly a bird there at all. Some of them are actually pretty rich with respect to how many birds they have. Usually they're shade grown, they've got some trees above the coffee, but there are other things that the farms can do to increase the number of birds. Espresso is this collective of organisations asked us, is there a way that we can figure out which farms are good for birds, why they're good, and then spread that good practices? So what the group here did was that they used bird data to map all of the birds in Costa Rica, that's the blue map on the left there. They then calculated, took into account how rich the different areas were, and then they calculated that each finger, each coffee farm in Costa Rica, they gave it a